So I was experiencing a lot of pain under my boob, going into my shoulder blade, and I fly for a living, so I was really noticing it more on takeoff, landing, when the pressure changed, and it really wasn't comfortable at all. I went to the doctor, immediate thought, it's gallstones. Okay, we'll send you for an ultrasound. So I went along for the ultrasound thinking this was going to be something really simple. They can take them out, it's fine. My gallbladder was completely clear, but they did find lesions in my liver. So I was told I'd be going for an MRI scan. 2 days later, I received the appointment for the MRI. You can imagine, alarm bells. So I went along and they found 25 lesions in my liver. They found 10 in my left lobe, 15 in my right lobe. And they were showing fast washout in the delayed phase, which is a malignant trait, so they couldn't rule out cancer. I was then transferred to the Churchill in Oxford, which has an incredible liver department, and had surgery. They resected sections 5 and 6 from my liver. And when they opened me up, they said that my liver looked like a leopard. It was covered in spots, even from the outside. I got the results, and I still have the letter. It really doesn't mean anything to me now, but it's just proof that it doesn't mean anything to me now. That's why I keep it, saying we can't completely rule out cancer, but we're 99% sure. For 8 years, I lived on a knife edge. I lived on fear, worry, planning any event. Would I be around to enjoy it? Was this going to transform into cancer? And it ruled everything. It ruled my relationships. I kind of gave up, really. And I now know that the universe doesn't necessarily give you what you want sometimes, but what you need. And I stumbled across a Dr. Joe Dispenza meditation. I very quickly dove in. Is it dived or dove?
Either way is fine with me.
Excellent. Anyway, I did that. I jumped right in, feet first, and I encapsulated myself. I lived, breathed the lessons. I did not miss a meditation. If I had to get up at 2:30 to get ready to report to fly, I'd set my alarm for 1:45 and I'd meditate for 45 minutes. It meant that much to me. And I'll tell you why. Because of the way I felt. I changed everything. I changed my interactions with people. I changed my perception. When I thought somebody had hurt me in the past, I actually realized that was just the way I was looking at it. And I had a completely different view of life. I felt love. I felt so much love. I still do. I feel so much love for you all. I really do. And I know you feel the same. And so, I was waving, by the way, not stopping you. Hello. And so, even in interactions, sometimes I'd catch myself. It was the awareness that Dr. Joe taught me, the awareness. And it doesn't matter if you fall off 1,000 times, get up 1,001. You know, it was catching myself. When I reacted instead of responded, I said to I could hear Dr. Joe in my head, how would love respond? What would love do? Oh, everything changed. And so I did that for 8 months, bearing in mind I'd lived that other life for 8 years.
Wait, I just want to make sure they're hearing this. So when you traveled for a living and you had to be there early at Heathrow, you got up extra early even though you were tired, and you got up and you did your meditation anyway? Is that what you're saying? And then you said you went 8 months and never missed a day.
Dr. Joe,
and you didn't even go to
bed and you got me up.
What's that?
You put me to sleep and you got me up.
And you didn't even go to a workshop or a week long. You kind of were self-taught. You taught yourself, did the meditations yourself, kept relearning, kept practicing, kept applying, kept going unconscious, kept forgetting, started to remember, stopped going unconscious, started staying conscious. And over time, in those 8 months, you started to feel better. 8 months, though. She went 8 months and she didn't know if she was healed or not, but it didn't matter because she was feeling differently. Are you listening?
So it got to the point where I didn't care. I didn't care because I felt so good. Anything could be happening in my body. I just felt so good.
Do you mind if I interrupt you one more time? Remember, she was defined by that condition. It became her identity. She lived in fear, and the fear put her attention on it all the time. So she had an intimate relationship with her disease, and her identity, her personality was connected to that disease. Are you listening? And the fear is what reaffirmed it, because when she felt fear, or when she thought about it, she felt fear. She changes her emotional state, truly embodies the emotion, lives it, lives it. It's more than just doing the meditation. She's living it now. She's really living it. She's trying to do it with her eyes open. All of that work, all of that effort over time begins to change her biology, and she gets to the point where she feels so good, she no longer identifies with it any longer. She could care less if she has it or not. That's how great it feels. And that's exactly the state of mind in which the body changes. Thank you.
I went for my latest scan, and I didn't even get a request to see the surgeons. I just got a letter in the post to say, your tumors are so small, most of them are undetectable, and we'll see you in 5 years.